Have you ever had the sense that something unseen was steering your life? Not in some abstract, mystical sense, but here, close, humming just below your conscious awareness, as if reality wasn't responding to what you did, but to the energy you carried. It's not about your actions, not even your thoughts. It's about your frequency, an energetic broadcast your subconscious sends out constantly. And what if I told you the entire quantum field, every atom, every potential outcome, every future possibility is responding to that signal? You're not merely a body navigating space. You're a living transmitter of vibration, a mobile field of awareness engaging with an infinite intelligence capable of collapsing endless potentials into a single tangible outcome based solely on your inner state. And here's where things get more extraordinary. This isn't just esoteric theory. It's echoed by quantum physics. Scientists discovered what's called the observer effect. When something is watched, it changes. A particle behaves differently under observation, meaning reality isn't fixed until it's perceived, until consciousness interacts with it. So what does that imply about your role? You're not just surviving within the world, you're continuously shaping it quietly, potently. But, and this is where many miss the mark, it's not your surface thoughts that do the heavy lifting, not vision boards or mantras alone. The real influence comes from your subconscious. It directs the quantum field, not through language, but through frequency, through emotion, through belief, through vibration. If you've ever done all the right things and still didn't manifest what you wanted, this is why. You said yes with your lips, but no with your energy. Let that settle in. Because your outer world reflects not your intentions, but your most dominant subconscious signal. So what exactly is this quantum field everyone's talking about? Picture it as a limitless ocean of potential. Every version of your life, every direction, every timeline already exists in this field as a possibility. Like ripples across still water, these potentials hover until one thing shifts: observation, awareness, conscious engagement. The moment that occurs, the wave collapses into a particle, into physical experience, into your lived reality. But it's not only your physical senses that observe. Your energetic frequency observes too. And that's where your subconscious mind plays its part, because it's always watching the world through the lens of your beliefs, your expectations, your deep-seated emotional imprints. And those impressions act as the blueprint the quantum field follows. Imagine your subconscious as a tuning fork. If it resonates with scarcity, your life harmonizes with limitation. If it vibrates with fear, similar experiences find you. But when it aligns with abundance, trust, and love, something astonishing occurs. The field doesn't just echo, it aligns. So the question is, what message does your subconscious actually transmit? Most of that programming was laid down between birth and age 7. During those early years, your brain primarily operated in a theta wave state, the same state used in hypnosis. In that mode, every word, sight, and emotion sank in without filter. No logic, no analysis, just pure emotional input etched into your system. If you were taught that money was scarce, that became your norm. If love felt conditional or absent, that signal still hums beneath your conscious goals. In the quantum field, it responds to that, not the face you show the world, not the dreams you scribble in a notebook, but the quiet, unspoken emotional blueprint you inherited. Yet here's the miracle. None of it is set in stone. Your subconscious isn't a prison, it's a portal. And the instant you become aware of the script you're running, you gain the ability to revise it. That's when the field begins to reflect, new outcomes because you're transmitting a new signal, and the field doesn't argue, it simply mirrors. We've been conditioned to believe that effort equals success, that manifestation requires struggle, grind, and nonstop action. But the truth is, the quantum field doesn't respond to effort. It responds to coherence. When your thoughts, emotions, and frequency are unified, you become magnetic. Not because you're forcing results, but because you're embodying the version of you who already lives that outcome. Coherence is the key. It's not about what you wish for. It's about what your system is in resonance with. If you say, I want love, with your mind, but your subconscious is steeped in abandonment, the field will always answer the deeper signal. And you already know this. You've felt it. That moment you entered a room and felt something was off, before anyone said a word, that subtle feelings when someone says, I'm okay, but you sense they're not. That's vibration, that's coherence, or it's absence. We sense it all the time because we're always transmitting it. You're not hiding from the universe, you're meeting your own reflection. So how do you rewire a subconscious that was formed before you even knew what the mind was? It starts with awareness, not just of your thoughts, but of your emotions, because emotion is the subconscious mind's native language. You can't think your way into a new reality. You have to feel your way there. When you close your eyes and envision your dream life, it's not the picture that changes things, it's the emotion it stirs within you. That's the charge. That's the frequency. Your subconscious doesn't understand language, it understands vibration. So if you're affirming, I am wealthy, while feeling fear and shame, your message gets scrambled. But if you slow your breath, activate gratitude, and embody the energy of already having it, then your message lands in the field. It listens, not later, not someday. It hears you now. Your feelings aren't background noise. They are instructions. The clearer and more emotionally charged those instructions, the quicker the field restructures itself to match. Consider this. Every time you feel safe, grateful, and whole, even if the outer world hasn't caught up yet, you're reprogramming your future, you're emitting a new signal, and the field must respond. You've probably heard the phrase, fake it till you make it. But this isn't about pretending, it's about embodying, becoming. If you want to manifest wealth, you must step into the version of yourself who feels rich already, not because of your bank balance, but because of your inner state. If you want to call in love, you don't chase it, you emanate it. You vibrate like someone who knows they are lovable, who lives in the energy of connection. And the quantum responds not with delay, but with precision. That's the secret few ever share. The field isn't vague, it's exact. It doesn't react to your begging, it reflects your belief. So if your core belief is, I'm not worthy, the field echoes it. If you believe life is always hard, the field complies. But shift your belief to, I'm aligned with prosperity, and your whole reality begins to reorganize around that frequency. We've been trained to view reality as solid, fixed, immovable. But quantum physics proved long ago that's an illusion. Reality isn't a wall, it's a wave. And your subconscious determines which wave turns to matter. You're not passively responding to life, you're continually selecting from infinite timelines. Most people just don't realize they're the ones holding the brush. But now you do. So let's go deeper. Let's revisit how your subconscious got formed. In those first 7 years, your mind was wide open, like rich soil, ready to receive. Every word spoken around you, every emotional tone, every felt experience became roots of your identity, and your brain was in theta mode. The same wavelength used in hypnosis to bypass resistance and speak straight to the subconscious. It means your beliefs weren't learned. They were absorbed. You didn't choose them. You inherited them. If fear shaped your home, it shaped your frequency. If love felt chaotic, that became your relationship template. These programs may be invisible, but they're powerful because they don't just sit in your psyche, they magnetize your reality. But here's the magic. You still access theta every day, right before sleep and right as you wake. In those in-between moments, when you're neither fully awake nor fully asleep, your subconscious is wide open. And that's the golden hour. That's when you can sow new beliefs. That's when you plant new roots. What are you offering your subconscious during those sacred windows? Anxiety, scrolling, doubt, or are you feeding it imagery of your ideal life? Because whatever emotions you rehearse during those moments become the new script. And that script shapes how you perceive the world. And your perception, believe it or not, becomes your projection. That's why two people can encounter the same event and walk away with different realities. It's not the situation, it's the filter. One sees growth, the other threat. One feels love, the other rejection. Same moment, different vibration, different outcome. Your world isn't shaped by the outer event. It's sculpted by how your energy engages with the field. And this is where ancient traditions and modern science meet. The Vedas spoke of Maya illusion, a dreamlike world that only seems fixed. Egyptian mystery schools taught that the cosmos is mental form through intention and imagination. And today, quantum theory confirms everything is energy. Everything is vibration. Everything is probability until your energy arrives. You don't have to control the world. You just have to master your signal. That's where your true power lies. And this is where emotional coherence becomes the most sacred practice you can adopt. Because your thoughts may say yes, but if your feelings say no, the field gets conflicting messages. You can't emit two opposing signals and expect harmony. So how do you create coherence? You breathe, you visualize, you feel, you release. You stop grasping and start radiating. You begin showing up in your body as if your desire is already your reality. Not as a fantasy, but as rehearsal. Because the field doesn't differentiate between a memory, a vision, or an actual event. It only registers your frequency. You're not pleading with the universe, you're instructing it. And once your subconscious aligns with your desire, the field responds. Not with delay, but with immediacy. Because now you're in resonance. Think of the quantum field as a luminous mirror. It doesn't judge, it doesn't correct, it doesn't evaluate, it reflects. Not what you want, but who you are. If you wish to see something new in the reflection, you don't beg it to shift. You change your expression. You adjust your posture. You alter the energy behind your eyes. And the reflection changes. That is manifestation. That is quantum creation. Not magic, not mysticism. Alignment. And it is your birthright. You're not flawed. You're not behind. You're simply operating on an old frequency. One you didn't choose, but one you now have the power to transform. Not by force, but by becoming conscious of the unconscious. Because when your signal shifts, reality has no option but to echo that change. You're not waiting for the world to catch up. The world is waiting for you to tune in. And when you do, when your frequency locks in with clarity and conviction, the field doesn't hesitate. It responds instantly. Because quantum reality doesn't depend on time. It thrives on alignment, on emotional clarity, on the unwavering certainty of belief before proof. You're not just sending signals into the void. You're sculpting reality with every pulse of your awareness. Each choice, each intention, each shift in emotion is like a tuning fork striking the quantum field, calling forth a version of reality that matches your frequency. This isn't fantasy. This is physics. It's resonance. It's coherence. It's alignment. And that's why your consistency matters more than your intensity. It's not about a single high vibe moment. It's about returning to your signal again and again until it becomes who you are, not just what you do. Until it becomes effortless, natural, inevitable. This is the inner alchemy, the transformation that doesn't begin in the outer world, but in the quiet decisions you make when no one's watching. Do you choose fear or faith? Do you spiral into the old narrative or anchor into the new one? These micro choices, repeated over time, are what magnetize the macro shifts. They're what move the needle in the field. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be persistent. You don't need to fake certainty. You need to return to the feeling, even when it slips, especially when it slips. Because every time you re-choose your future self over your familiar past, you're laying down new pathways, neurologically, energetically, and the field responds, not with judgment, but with precision, with clarity, with echoes that match your signal. See, this is why your self-me is everything, because the field can only mirror what you believe you are. If you see yourself as unworthy, the field reflects limitations. If you identify as abundant, the field reflects opportunity. You're not waiting for proof, you are the proof. You're not chasing validation, you're broadcasting it. And when you understand this, you stop outsourcing your power. You stop giving your energy to circumstances, to people, to past stories. You reclaim it. You become deliberate with your thoughts, intentional with your emotions, sovereign in your vibration. That's not control, that's mastery. And mastery isn't about rigidity, it's about flexibility, it's about fluidity. It's about knowing how to return to your center no matter what the external conditions look like. Because real power is not the absence of chaos, it's the ability to remain coherent within it. And coherence is a language the field never misunderstands. So when things begin to shift, and they will, don't be surprised if your old life starts falling away. That's not loss, that's space being cleared. That's the old vibration detaching. That's your energy becoming incompatible with what no longer matches. Welcome it, bless it, and let it go. Because every ending you allow with grace becomes the soil for the timeline you've chosen. And if you keep planting seeds of alignment, of embodiment, of emotional congruence, harvest is inevitable. The field has no choice but to deliver. But remember, the delivery isn't always packaged the way your ego expects. It's not always neat or linear or logical. Sometimes it arrives as a whisper, sometimes as a nudge, sometimes as a breakdown that births a breakthrough. Trust it all. Trust the intelligence that moves through you and around you. Trust the version of you that already lives what you seek. Because that version isn't a fantasy, it's a frequency. And it's waiting, not for you to become someone else, but for you to remember who you already are. Beneath the noise, beneath the programming, beneath the conditioning, you were born in resonance. You were born in harmony. You were born as a precise expression of source energy, capable of shaping reality through intention, feeling, and faith. That power didn't leave you. It was just buried under the illusion of limitation. But now you're waking up. And as you wake up, the world responds. As you align, the field aligns. As you embody truth, truth is revealed. So take a breath, feel it in your chest, the magnetism, the clarity, the readiness. You are not here to chase, you are here to transmit, you are not here to prove, you are here to remember, to embody, to radiate. You are the signal, and the field is already listening.